The night was cold, and the fog hung thick over Brightwater Bay. Harper Delaney, an investigative journalist known for her unyielding determination, sat in her small apartment, reviewing the last piece of evidence she'd uncovered. Little did she know that this seemingly routine investigation would soon draw her into something much darker. Her phone buzzed with a message from a trusted source, warning her that she was getting too close to the truth. Harper smiled grimly and clicked away from the message. Then, she dialed Elliot, her best friend, and whispered, "I'm about to open Pandora's box." That was the last time anyone heard from her. The line went silent. Harper had vanished without a trace. Harper Delaney was no stranger to danger. For years, she'd tackled some of the most high-profile and chilling cold cases, never shying away from exposing the dark underbelly of society. But one case had been haunting her for months: the disappearance of Lily Monroe. The young woman had vanished without a trace in 1982, and despite the years that had passed, her case remained unsolved. Harper became obsessed. As she dug deeper into the case, she discovered a twisted web of secrets tied to Brightwater Bay's most influential families. And the more she uncovered, the more dangerous it seemed to get. In Brightwater Bay, everyone knew the name Monroe, but few dared to talk about them. The Monroe family was wealthy, powerful, and deeply entrenched in the town's social fabric. Yet, Harper had found a disturbing pattern in their connections. Lily Monroe's disappearance was not an isolated incident. Behind their wealth, the family had ties to people who would go to extreme lengths to protect their secrets. As Harper's investigation progressed, she recruited the help of Detective Donovan, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for being methodical. Donovan, while initially skeptical of Harper's theories, soon found himself drawn into her world. His quiet demeanor masked a sharp mind, and he had seen more than his share of dark cases, but this one felt different. It was as if Harper had tapped into something far more sinister than either of them had realized. Together, they slowly began to peel back the layers of corruption that seemed to shield the town's wealthiest and most powerful. Then, everything changed. Harper's phone call to Elliot on that foggy night revealed more than just a breakthrough in the case. It was a final cry for help. "I'm about to expose it all," she said, her voice urgent. She had uncovered something, but just as quickly as the conversation began, it ended. Harper's phone went dead. When Elliot tried to call back, it went straight to voicemail. Panic set in as hours turned to days with no sign of Harper. Her apartment was eerily untouched, except for one thing. Her laptop was still on, a file titled Lily Monroe, The Truth, open on the screen. The file contained explosive details about a conspiracy involving some of the town's most powerful families. Detective Donovan arrived at Harper's apartment the next morning. He immediately noticed the sense of urgency in the air. The once bustling apartment complex was now eerily silent, and Harper's absence left a gnawing sense of foreboding. On her desk, an unfinished cup of coffee sat cold, and the glow from her laptop screen illuminated the details of the file she'd been working on. Donovan's heart sank as he skimmed through the file. It was clear now that Harper had found something monumental, a conspiracy that tied the town's elites to the disappearance of Lily Monroe and perhaps many others. The investigation into Harper's disappearance began, but it was riddled with complications. Detective Donovan and his team started by interviewing those closest to her. Elliot, Harper's best friend, was beside himself with grief. He couldn't fathom who would want to harm Harper, let alone silence her. As Donovan delved deeper into Harper's life, he discovered her sources, a handful of wealthy families who had been extremely secretive about their connections to the Monroe family. The more they dug into the family's history, the more it seemed like someone was trying to erase any trace of their involvement in Lily Monroe's disappearance. But no matter how hard they searched, it was as if every lead led to a dead end. It wasn't until weeks later, when the investigation seemed to stall, that a breakthrough came. An anonymous tip came through, leading Donovan to a shocking discovery. Someone had witnessed a car leaving Harper's building the night she vanished. The vehicle was registered to the Montags, one of the town's wealthiest and most influential families. Donovan's heart raced as he realized the depth of the conspiracy they were unraveling. The Montags were connected to both the Monroes and the mysterious disappearance of Lily Monroe. and now they seemed to be connected to Harper's fate as well. With this new lead in hand, the investigation took a darker turn. Donovan and his team began to piece together the Montagues' involvement. It wasn't just about Harper's disappearance anymore. It was about something much bigger. The Montagues were deeply entwined with the town's darkest secrets, and they would stop at nothing to keep them buried. As Donovan dug deeper, he uncovered a series of coded messages hidden within the documents Harper had left behind. They pointed to a secret society operating within the town, one that had been controlling everything from local politics to the very fate of those who dared to cross them. As the investigation gained momentum, the Montagues became aware of Donovan's growing interest. It wasn't long before they made it clear that they weren't going to let him or anyone else bring their empire down. The tension between the authorities and the Montagues reached a boiling point, with threats flying from both sides. Meanwhile, Harper's disappearance remained unsolved, and the fear that she had been silenced only grew stronger. Months passed, and the town of Brightwater Bay seemed to be living in a state of suspended animation. On the surface, life continued as normal, but beneath the calm exterior, a storm was brewing. Detective Donovan pressed on, undeterred by the mounting pressure. Then, in a dramatic turn, an unexpected twist emerged. One of the Montague family members, fearing the consequences of their involvement, came forward with crucial information. The truth about what happened to Harper was finally revealed, but the cost was staggering. The Montagues had been involved in a series of illegal activities spanning decades: bribery, extortion, and even murder. Lily Monroe's disappearance had been the result of their ruthless actions, and Harper had been close to exposing it all. She had uncovered a trail of corruption that threatened to destroy the Montague family's hold on Brightwater Bay. But before she could reveal the full extent of the conspiracy, someone had silenced her. The Montague family members were arrested, their criminal empires slowly crumbling under the weight of the investigation. However, the true circumstances of Harper's disappearance remained shrouded in mystery. Some believed she had been silenced by those in power, while others suspected that she had simply become another casualty of the dangerous truth she was so close to uncovering. The investigation, though it resulted in some arrests, did not bring closure to the most haunting question of all: what happened to Harper Delaney? Brightwater Bay was never the same after the truth came to light. The town that once seemed like a picturesque, quiet haven was revealed to be a place of darkness and deceit. The arrest of the Montagues shook the community to its core, but the true cost of uncovering such a monumental conspiracy left a bitter aftertaste. The question that lingered in the air, unanswered and unresolved, was whether Harper's pursuit of the truth had cost her life, or if something far more sinister had happened. Harper Delaney's case serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the truth is a dangerous thing to pursue. While the community may have uncovered the corruption at the heart of Brightwater Bay, the fate of the journalist who exposed it remains a mystery. Was Harper silenced to protect the truth, or did she vanish into the very shadows she had uncovered? As the investigation closed, the haunting question lingered: what really happened to Harper Delaney? No one truly knew, and perhaps no one ever would. What do you think happened to Harper? Was she silenced by the Montagues? Or did she uncover something much darker than we could ever imagine? Let us know your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more chilling true crime mysteries.